Here's one of my shadows. There's another one over there somewhere. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about my unmown front yard. This year I made a conscious decision not to mow until now. It's gone past its prime after a couple days of torrential rain. I should have done this a couple days ago when everything was just so vibrant and full of wildflowers. But now everything has gone past its prime. But the aromas out here were just spectacular. And with not mowing, a lot of things came out that I wouldn't ordinarily see. This I would ordinarily usually see because it's the wild valerian, and there's tons of wild valerian, as well as mugwort. There's some blackberries spreading out, but I don't need them to make a mess out here, so I will trim them back when I get back to mowing. There's Big Jack Skellington. He has some marigolds and a bird feeder. Okay, but what I really wanted to show you is how abundant this yard became with 1 year of no mowing. There's two kinds of plantains, broadleaf and ribbed, and they pretty much grow together all through it. Red clover. The narrow rib plantain has all these little seed and flower heads, which are very beneficial. I'm better with edibles, food, than I am the herbs, but there's both, and the plantain is just magnificent, and that's good for everything, and it's also good to eat. And these seed heads with these, we always call it bunny spaghetti, because I always used to cook it for the rabbits, but you can cook it for yourself too. They're a little bit past prime when they got the little flowery things sticking out. That's when they're better for eating. I think I keep covering up my microphone. I'm not sure. I don't even know what end it's on. You'll have to put up with listening to my huffing and puffing, because I have just the phone with just that microphone on it, and it picks up all my huffing and puffing. The daisies. There's loads of daisies. There was a lot more a day or so ago. The red clover is abundant out here. Of course, the leaves are a food source. And the flowers do have some medicinal properties for circulation, whatever. My favorite, I've already harvested most of this over the last couple days, so I have to actually look around for some spots, is the self-heal. And self-heal, heal all, tincture, tea, salves, whatever. I won't try to explain anything much to you because, I don't know, I'm just babbling here, but definitely Google heal all or self-heal. Look it up on YouTube. I have some drying now. I made 2 quarts of tincture in the cupboard, and it actually is. It's also called carpenter's herb. There's a few other names for it. It's an anti-inflammatory as well as antiseptic, and it's magnificent for treating wounds, any kind of skin disorder, swellings, redness of any kind. as well as internally, inflammation internally, gut inflammation in particular. It's worth looking up. And you can find it absolutely everywhere. But this year we had a extraordinarily large amount of it because of me choosing not to mow. White clover, lots of white clover, which is also a beneficial tea. Right now, they're all gone basically, but I had very large patches of violets. And of course, violets are excellent for respiratory health. The leaves and flowers both dried for tea to clear up respiratory congestion and thick mucus. It thins the mucus. There's still a lot of leaves here. And let's see, where are we here? Oops. Watch where I... And more mugwort, of course. And some people curse mugwort, but it is my absolute favorite herb. I mean, it can actually put your mind on a whole nother level. And even though it sounds woo-woo, and it's not. It's actually proven to enhance dreaming. And you don't even have to ingest it. You can ingest it. You can smoke it. But you don't have to. You can cut bundles of it and just rub them a little bit to release the aroma and sleep with it on your pillow. And I can pretty much guarantee that your dreams will be enhanced. And a lot of people use it for lucid dreaming. It helps promote lucid dreaming. Little butterflies flitting around. Just the aromas, the smells out here over the past week or two have been phenomenal because of the loads and loads of wild valerian. They smell very, very sweet. Kind of sicky sweet almost. Oh, I picked a lot of fleabane. Kind of an all-around tonic. It's, again, a good respiratory. Make sure my fingers aren't over top of the lens because I'm forgetting to look at the screen. Plus it's bright so I can barely see it. And I don't even know. I've had people say that when I'm recording these videos that they can't hear me. The sound is too low. I'm trying to speak up a little bit, but I'm not a naturally loud speaker. Oh, we have raspberries, and they, since I haven't mowed, they've spread out a little bit more. Oh, there's some of the valerian. But that has faded quite a bit because of the rain and stuff. And everything's past prime, so now I will mow in the next couple of days. Only because I don't want any of the stronger plants to take hold. Now that everything's gone to seed, if I mow it now, then next spring the wildflowers will be able to come back again too, because I haven't left it long enough for the dominant species to take over. Here we have gorgeous lady's bed straw. That's just plain beautiful. And what was I just looking for here? Oh, yarrow. Yarrow. This is just the wild white one. And that is abundantly useful. And I don't have very much of it. I only have a couple little stands, so I don't usually take much. I'll take it as I need it. If my lungs feel congested or whatever. And it's excellent for any kind of infection. Cuts, wounds, bruises. It's the herb of Achilles. So it clears up any kind of infection or wounds or something. It's good stuff. Look that one up too. If you're already not familiar with it. Wild yarrow. But I guess the cultivars, the domesticated cultivars, I believe they have medicinal properties as well. But I will come and get some of this tonight or tomorrow before that fades too much. And coming, I don't know if you can even see it through the lens because the clouds have come in, but this whole section here is just so packed with wildflowers and medicinals. There's loads of the heal all, or self-heal. Some buttercups. And what has gone to seed that I'm not seeing, there was loads and loads of Indian paintbrush out here. The red, the orange, and the yellow. There was just tons of it, which set the whole area on fire. It was absolutely beautiful. Adding to the intense aroma was the the bane of my existence, the beautiful enemy, the wild rugosa, highly invasive and brutal to deal with, but the most beautiful scent. I mean, the heaviest, headiest rose scent there could possibly be. And then in the autumn and into the winter are the abundant rose hips, which I use a lot of. There's tons of blackberries, but they usually dry up and get hard and fade out. We call them bear candy. But you don't usually have to worry about it because they just never actually ripen nicely into big fat berries. Very rarely. One of my favorite plants is coming up really nicely out here. And when I mow, it is going to screw that up. So I would love to go a few more days, but I don't know. It probably wouldn't be enough. This is the curly dock. I think it's also called yellow dock. And this is just the most useful plant. The root is medicinally useful, if you want to look that up. The young leaves are one of the first spring greens, spring pot herbs. But what I love most are these seed heads. And when they turn brown, it's like bran. And they make amazing muffins. Just throw them into any muffin recipe after they turn brown. You can save them all winter. Lots of fiber, vitamins, minerals, you know, the whole works. The usual routine. There's lots of ladies' bed straw coming up in here, which just looks beautiful. And all this heal all, self-heal. 2 days ago, I picked almost all of it. I mean, I just wiped out these patches. And they're back already. There's tons more. The heads are smaller this time. And I was basically picking just the heads. But now when they're smaller like this, I'll pick the whole works. And this batch, the next batch, I'll dry for tea. More fleabane. This one has the kind of pink, I don't know if it shows up in the camera or not, but it's very, very pink. And when there's a whole bunch of them together, like there was before I cut them back over in the driveway, I harvested a pretty good sized basket full, which are mostly back again. There's a whole bunch more, but they're pink. They have a wave of pink, and when there's so many of them together like that, they have a slight scent too. So there's all these flowers all blooming at once and blending their perfume into the air, because it was the red clover, the white clover, the heal-all, the wild roses, the wild valerian, the bedstraw, all that stuff was blooming all at once, and it was so heady. It was just wonderful. Oh, before that was the dandelions. And look, there's still a little left over. When I bend over, the smell toward the ground is super sweet. It's still very heady. Dandelions. And I was picking loads of the long stems to dry, to weave little tiny miniature baskets, which I haven't done, but I always have a lot of intentions. I have a lot more intentions than follow through. And let's see if there's anything else. I know I'm forgetting stuff, but I got all kinds of ferns here. And I have a deer fly buzzing around my head, which drives me completely crazy. Early in the spring, I mean, here again we have what's considered a noxious invasive, but it has highly naturalized, and there's no getting rid of it, so you might as well just make the most of it. The very first shoots in the spring are really yummy. Tastes like asparagus, of course. Most everything does. Here I have the daylilies. And I might actually have a few buds. The deer always eat them off on me before I get to them. But I don't want to spray them with anything. I was going to put out some hot pepper or something. And no, Irish Spring soap does not work at all. I've had I don't know how many bars out here melted, and it doesn't do a thing. But I love the buds. And these, for some reason, all of these daylilies are always doubles. They bloom with a double blossom. And I'm always torn between leaving in there to look at and eating the buds, which are extremely delicious. I transplanted, foolishly maybe, a little bit of gooseneck over here from my mother's yard, and it's going crazy all over the place. But at least that will make a flower soon, after the bedstraw and the daisies and the clovers are all done. That gooseneck loosestrife will be blooming, and the butterflies absolutely love it, so it's always right full of butterflies. But anyway, in a day or two I will come out and try to mow. It's going to be like a hayfield. It's going to look absolutely horrendous, of course, because that's what happens. But that will knock all the seeds down, and it will be beautiful again next spring. Here we have some wild cherry. The birds always get it before I do. And I was going to show that spot of pink fleabane. I guess that the rain knocked most of that down, so there's not much of that left. There's some little patches. Not enough to worry about harvesting now, I guess. I'll have to be content with what I have, which I didn't dry fast enough, so they went to fluff. Some of my favorite sedges. I love sedges, and they're great for basket weaving and crafts. Apples. Of course, the honeysuckles. That's another... Oops! A frog almost tripped me. They were blooming a week or two ago, so they added loads of fragrant perfume to the air. And it's another one of those naturalized things that we just learned to live with. It's also an invasive, but it's here now and it's not going anywhere. Some more cherry. And there was something else I was going to show, and now I don't remember what it was. This tree is lovely, but I curse it, and fortunately it blooms early and doesn't last long and goes away because it smells horrendous. It's one of those stupid Bradford pear things, and it sends shoots up all around. I have to keep mowed off, and it's a very evil tree. But I believe it's still legal to plant them for some reason, even though they're considered noxious and they smell horrendous. This is an apple tree. Oh, deer fly bit me. More of the wild valerian and some daisies and this batch of did I accidentally hit something? Yeah, I did. I accidentally hit the zoom. Okay. Some more fleabane over here. But the valerian is what is stealing the show as far as aromas right now, mixed with the roses. I don't know how long I've been talking here, but it's probably going to cut me off pretty soon. This phone tends to shut off on me in the middle of my talking. So if I disappear in a big hurry, that's what happened. The phone went off on me. Hostas, which of course they have nothing to do with my no-mow time. They would be here one way or the other regardless. They're also a very favorite spring green. I wait all winter for the first shoots of hosta to come up. Hosta was originally brought to the United States as a food crop. However, it's almost exclusively planted as an ornamental now, which is just a little bit silly because as a spring vegetable, you can't beat it. It tastes a little bit like asparagus, but way better and fresher, greener. I can't even describe it. It has its own flavor, but it's very fresh, very green. There's nothing heavy, cloying. It's not slimy, or it's just absolutely delicious. And, oops, I thought I may have found some wild lettuce. I have a hard time finding decent wild lettuce. I don't really have any in my yard. Every time I see something that might be, it turns out to be a thistle. That's just a thistle. And I have 2 or 3 kinds of thistles. I have the really nasty kind out there where we were earlier. And there's some more sedges. Assorted willows. Oh, there's some more Indian paintbrushes that haven't gone to seed yet. I love that vibrant orange so much. I get all excited when I see them, especially the last stragglers. I appreciate them even more for hanging on. They have a lot more spruce than fir, but it smells so good. And it's my favorite tea. Very comforting. Oh, there's another patch of daisy fleabane. This is a better patch. Even these are beyond peak. And a little bit past harvesting to dry, but not past harvesting a big cupful to make some tea later. More wildflowers that didn't get mowed off. Partridge berries. More blackberries, maybe, if we get lucky. I don't know if you can see from here the wild yellow irises. There's a tree back here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see anything now. This is one of the big dead pine trees.